What's one word to describe the U.S.?
Fun. I love America.
Let's go! Why is it fun?
There's stuff to do everywhere. It's just the best place.
What's the weirdest thing about the U.S.?
Everyone's so nice. People in London aren't nice. Like,
Oh,
people are so
true.
friendly on the street. It's just weird because we don't.
Europeans arrived carrying two versions of America, the movie version full of energy and the headline version full of chaos. But the real America did not fit either story. It was strangers talking, people smiling, cities buzzing, and a country that felt far more open than they expected. The first shock was simple. America felt alive. For visitors used to quieter public spaces, that warmth was confusing at first. The place they had been told to fear suddenly looked like a place they wanted to understand.
As a Brit that lives in America, we get asked quite a lot why we decided to leave the UK and why we chose America. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Courtney, and me and my husband moved us and our two children from England to America about 6 months ago, and we settled in Kansas. So the first reason we wanted to leave was that we didn't really like where it was heading politically, and I'm not going to get too much into that because it causes an uproar in the comments about other people's opinions, but we weren't happy with where we could see it going. Excuse the noise, they're doing something over the back. So that was our first indicator that we wanted to leave. The second reason we left was because we wanted our children to have a different upbringing to what we had. Not that our upbringing was bad over in England, but we just wanted something different, like more opportunities for them, better things that they can go out and do, to live in a country where they can go and explore, and America's the perfect one for that. Each state is completely different and they all have something different to offer. So we thought that's when we started to think about America. So another reason we wanted to leave was because of our jobs. My husband's job was just becoming boring for him. It was the same thing day in and day out, and he's the reason that we actually were able to come over here, because he secured a job in a similar field to what he was doing, but it's completely different aspect of the job, and he finds it a lot more interesting. I, however, was really struggling to hold down my job at home because I was just so unhappy in the career path that I chose, that when the opportunity for America arose, we both jumped on it because it was something that we really wanted. So my job was working in a childcare setting with children under 5, and I found that I used all my patience up at work. So when I came home to my children, who were also both under 5, I had no patience left, and I was just like avoiding them, cooking dinner. My husband would do bedtime, whereas now that we live over here, I actually get to cherish every moment that I have with them and have the patience to deal with them as well. And it's just a better way of life over here, we think.
For some Europeans, America was not just a holiday. It became a reset. A British family moving to Kansas may not sound like the postcard American dream, but that is the point. America's appeal is not only in New York or Los Angeles. It is in the chance to choose a different pace, a different job, and a different future. To outsiders, the country can feel like a giant map of second chances. One state offers space. Another offers beaches. Another offers career change. For people coming from smaller countries, that level of choice can feel almost unreal.
Americans do things with a level of confidence that Brits reserve for absolutely nothing. Restaurants, I feel like this is done more in the US. If things aren't up to scratch, you best believe that Americans will be sending that food back. And you know what? I'm with them. I am so with them. It costs so much money to go out and eat nowadays that why should we expect anything less than what we've asked for? So if they get the order wrong, if the steak isn't cooked to the right temperature, are calm about it, they're respectful about it, but they will just say, look, I'm not happy with the food, can you send it back? And the customer service here is just like, absolutely, what can I do to help? How can I correct the situation? And I now have got into the habit of doing that if I'm not happy with something. Whereas back home, I think we received the wrong meal, we eat half of it, we apologise to the waiter for being confusing that we ate half, or we probably lie and say, when the waiter comes over and says like, oh, how was it? I hope you enjoyed everything. You'll probably be like, yeah, it was lovely. I'm just so full, you know. Or at the end of the meal, when you're done, you'll probably be like, sorry, but I think I did order the salmon, but I did receive the chicken. I just wanted to let you know. Coffee orders. It'll be like, can I have a quad oat half sweet extra with cold foam on top with a sprinkle of cinnamon? Can you make sure that it's not too cold but not too hot? Like, I have seen it all. I've been with some of my friends and like the way they're ordering, I'm like, it's a whole operation. I now do this, so I'm not judging. UK, it's very much like you'd only order what you can see on the menu. I'm sorry, I know it's not in the menu, but like, do you have tea? Like coffee, they'll just be like, can I have an Americano with cold milk? Complimenting strangers. Love your outfit, I love your hair, like so many compliments. Oh, I love your accent. In the UK, people will probably have the exact same thought as that. They'll never say it. They'll love someone's coat and they won't ever say it. And then 14 years later, they'll talk about this coat that this person wore and how much they loved it. It's like, where's this come from? Why didn't you tell me at the time?
I was just watching a post of a fellow Brit living in America, and he was talking about how he's noticed the difference in children and how they are typically more confident in America than they are in England. And it made me think, because I think literally every single other Brit I follow on here who lives in America, one thing that all of them will say is that people in general, not just kids, but adults, kids, but people in general are more confident here than they are in England. From a young age in England, we can typically be told to not show off, don't brag, be humble, don't toot your own horn. It can be seen as arrogant to talk about your achievements, or if you have a pay raise or an idea that you have that may go against the grain. Whereas in America, I think it's celebrated to talk about yourself in such a positive light. If you have an achievement, a stranger would celebrate with you. When you have positive motivation, this can help you with your confidence. This just isn't something that we're used to in England. I won't lie, when I first moved to America and people were this way with me, I kind of saw it as fake or not being genuine, but it really isn't. American people just love celebrating other people's wins and bigging each other up.
One major culture shock was American confidence. Americans asked for what they wanted, corrected mistakes, customized orders, and complimented strangers without turning it into a social crisis. For Brits, this felt strange. Back home, the instinct is often to apologize, accept the wrong order, and pretend everything is fine. But in America, confidence is not always arrogance. Sometimes it is just participation. People speak up, they encourage each other, they celebrate wins out loud, and after a while, that confidence starts to feel freeing.
Good morning, USA. Listen, guys, I've said hello to so many people this morning. Like, I think I spent at least 5 people. And I just spoke to a lovely gentleman. He said to me, I said to him, good morning. He said, good morning, how's your day? I said, having a lovely day. He said, what a beautiful day. Amazing weather. I was like, it's a bit cloudy today, but it's like, listen, if God made today great, it's a great day. And I was like, okay, have a lovely day. You too. People are just so nice. What is going on? What is going on? Oh my God. America is really nice. People are too nice. Too nice for my liking. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to the USA. Yeah, I am.
You learn a lot about yourself when you move abroad. Let me tell you what I just learned today. Moved to America 8 months ago. Just realised that English people are strange and I'm one of them. Why do we gatekeep our name from people? Why am I actually scared of telling people my name? Why will it take them 3 times to meet me before they even know my name? That's probably an exaggeration, but I will have full-blown conversations with people with my dog out in the street. They've told me their name and I still haven't told them mine. Why? Americans, they meet you and if they want to engage with you, they'll say their name. Like, hi, my name is Pete. Hi, my name is Roger. We don't do that. We do not do that. We can have 2-hour-long conversations with people in the middle of a forest with our dogs. We will still never exchange names. It's got to the point where...
Then came the small social rituals. The good mornings, the how are yous, the casual names, and the way strangers talked like friendliness was normal. For many Brits, this was almost uncomfortable at first. In Britain, you can speak to someone for ages and still avoid exchanging names. In America, people simply introduce themselves. That openness may seem small, but it changes how public life feels. A walk, a coffee stop, or a dog conversation suddenly becomes warmer.
I think my favourite part about living in America as a British person is the optionality in this country. I think a lot of people that live outside of the US understand that there's optionality in the grocery stores, for example. Many different Oreo types you can get and the different peanut butter brands. But I don't think until you live here you can truly understand the optionality that you have within the country when it comes to travel, when it comes to choosing where to live, when it comes to the climate, when it comes to the landscapes. And I feel like you only really get a true sense of it when you are on the ground here, living here. I live in Boston and I'm here in Florida right now visiting family. And it's just that for me. Like, we drove 20 hours, Boston to Florida, and what you see on that drive down, I don't think I'll truly ever get over that I am standing in the exact same country right here in Florida as I was when I was in Boston a couple of days ago. They couldn't be more different. And even just the pace of lifestyle, the service, it's a lot slower, it's a lot different. The people, just everything changes. This is just a small example because if you think about how big the country is, we're only driving down one coast at this point. Between Florida and Boston, you've got places like South Carolina, which I have visited. And that is so different to Florida, even though it's closer, different. They have their own culture, they have their own world. With my current green card, I can go to another place in the US. It will be completely different. It will be like stepping into a new country, a new experience. That is just a wonderful opportunity. Speak to Americans about it. They don't truly get it because that's all they've ever known. But when you're not from here, I think you value those things so much more highly and never ever take that for granted. The amount of Americans that I've spoken to that just casually tell me that they've moved from one state to another, be completely opposite ends of the world. So it'll be like, oh, I moved from Boston to San Diego, and I'm like, wow. For a job opportunity, I'm like, oh wow, like, how are you enjoying it? Like, they seem so like chill, like, yeah, I'm just moving from this state to this state, like, no big deal. And I'm like, it's like a completely different country, different life experience. And that's my thought for this morning on my gorgeous, glorious walk with the pups.
So where'd you live in the US, bro? Spent 2 years in Florida, and then I spent 2 years in Kansas. So give me a little synopsis. Give me the good, bad, the ugly of Florida. The good, there's no rules. But that's also the bad, fam. I don't think I've ever felt more free in a place than when I was in Florida. Anything could happen, and that made it great fun. Kansas, in general, some of the most kind-hearted, genuine people out there, innit? The bad about Kansas is Kansas. What is there? Nothing, fam.
This is what outsiders often only understand after living there. America is not one experience, it is many worlds inside one country. Boston and Florida can feel like different countries. Kansas and Florida can offer completely different versions of life. The weather, culture, pace, people, and landscape all change. That is why Europeans keep talking about optionality. In America, you can change your lifestyle without leaving the national border. To Americans, that may feel normal. To outsiders, it feels like freedom.
The woman says, oh no, the man in the hat already paid for your beers. So we go up to shake his hand. We think it's probably the guy in the big cowboy hat. And he's shaking our hands as a firm handshake. And it's a proper Texas hospitality. He's like, oh yeah, he's just chatting away, asking us where we're going, where we're from. Lovely, lovely Texas man. And then he's like, hold on, wait here. I've got something for you guys. And he gave us both this heavy-duty pin from the Amarillo Police Department. And it's heavy. It's really heavy-duty. And he's like, this is for you guys. And then everyone's chatting away and we're shaking everyone's hands. And then as we're leaving, somebody else is like, oh, I overheard you chatting. Everyone is so friendly. Normally this kind of bar maybe would intimidate me a little bit.
So I literally just complimented someone's bunny ears on the street and they gave them to me. That's how nice people are in America. It's so cute. I'm heading off to the beach and my boyfriend's made me a picnic. How nice is that? It's just such a good day in America, always. The best life here.
I love that America's hosting the World Cup. 2 reasons why. Firstly, the time difference. I haven't got to stay up late for games. I haven't got to get up early. The games are on at a great time for us. Number 2, it's bringing people that have never been to America and they are experiencing what America has to offer, especially British people. They're coming over and they are loving it here. This is why we live here.
This is generally one of my favourite things about America. Look at this. They just have American flags everywhere. I'm just casually walking on the mall and there's this giant American flag. Here's another one. They even have a giant one here. I love this. I love Americans for that. They have pride in their country and they have pride in their flag. If this was the UK, the flag would get torn down and you'd be branded for hate or something. Anyways, if you want to see...
You visiting from Scotland as well?
Yes, I am.
How's your time in America been so far?
Amazing. Beautiful people. Beautiful cities, beautiful everything. It's amazing.
Did you come by yourself or with a bunch of people?
With my family.
Yeah.
So my mum, dad, my 16 cousins and my 5 brothers. Amazing.
Find out that America has free refills.
The Scottish fans didn't arrive quietly. They arrived like a moving festival. Families, cousins, brothers, kilts, songs, jokes, and the kind of energy that turns an airport into the first stage of the tournament. For them, America wasn't just a host country. It was a strange, oversized, generous playground. Free refills felt like a miracle. A pub inside a supermarket felt like a glitch in reality.
I'm in America. When they say everything in America is big, I understand it. Why the hell is this quesadilla the size of my head? Somebody explain to me why this piece of food is the size of my head. And I've got 3 of them.
It's just like the movies. A big yellow bus.
And somebody asked me how I have an iPhone. They asked me how I have an iPhone in 2020.
The first culture shock wasn't politics. It wasn't danger. It was scale. Food the size of a human head, yellow school buses that looked like they drove straight out of a movie, and strangers asking Scottish visitors questions. So strange they became instant comedy. Every street corner felt familiar and unreal at the same time. America really was that big.
Ran out of beer. That's my only complaint. Been drinking since, what time did I get up this morning? 1 o'clock in the morning I got up.
That's when some fans began heading to the airport, bound for the US, bound for the World Cup. The pilot telling us when the beer ran out, he switched to wine.
So I'm going to go and have a nice whiskey at my digs, and then I'm going to go out and hit the town. I'm going to find cheers.
We're going to come here, we're going to drink your beer, we're going to put some money into the economy, and we're going to have a right good time while we're doing it.
We're all running out of beer, and the local distributors are just doing what they can to get them in, and I know a lot of them got shipments in, and yeah, it seems like the Scottish pride themselves in having places like just drinking them dry.
Then came the story Boston will probably tell for years. The Tartan army arrived and the city's beer supply started to collapse. But this wasn't just about drinking. It was about atmosphere. The Scottish fans became walking economic stimulus packages, filling bars, singing in the streets, and turning ordinary nights into World Cup street parties. It was chaotic, ridiculous, and exactly what a global tournament should feel like.
I need to save up for a liver transplant after this trip. And the guys, they're just jealous that they can't roll their R's. But honestly, it's not about the money we spend, it's about the fun we generate. And what we do is very easy because we have not qualified for the World Cup for 28 years. So quite simply, the budget I spend, I divide it by 28, and that's how we motivate being here.
Yeah.
And I get kicked off the Mayflower for being a bit handsy. She was English, not Irish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we need to sell our houses and cars and probably children as well to afford it.
Yeah.
But it's all worth it. It's all worth it. We're so happy to be here.
This is my official request to the Tartan Army. I want to come party with you guys in Miami. My wife and I want to come, and we want to bring our friends, and I'm bringing my kilt. Yeah, go Scotland!
Yes, God, thank you, understand. It's really God's man. It's very much done. We go second job again. We go again. Second job again. God, thank you.
Oh, I just hate Scottish stereotypes. Like that man that all we do is drink. It's just so rude. Did you see they ran out of beer in Boston because all the Scots drank it? I'm no surprised. I'm no fucking surprised. As they should. As they fucking should. Oh, flower of Scotland.
Message for the Scottish fans that have taken over Boston the last 2 days.
Yeah, I want to say thank you. You guys have really brought a new life to the city. You've drinking a lot of our beer. We need some new shipments, but I love it. It's fun. I feel like it's like the culture that Boston wants and needs. I'm having a good time.
This was the emotional core of the takeover. Scotland hadn't qualified for the World Cup for 28 years, so every song and every ridiculous expense carried the weight of a generation. And America didn't push them away. Locals joined in. At a time when the country is often described as divided and exhausted, a crowd of Scottish fans accidentally reminded people what public happiness looks like.
Americans live like the main character, whereas Brits live like something bad is going to happen. In America, people are loud, outgoing. Americans wake up and think, yeah, today is going to be a good day, I'm going to get after it. People in the UK wake up miserable, defeated and grumpy, craving tea bags. It's completely different. In America, people go and get after exactly what they want. They're loud, they talk about what they're doing, they support each other. In the UK, there is no support. If you tell someone a good idea, they will tell you it's a bad idea, and they will not support you. The only time they'll support you is if you make it. It's completely different. It feels like when I went to America, I experienced real life. It feels like the colour appeared again, whereas in the UK, yeah, it might be sunny right now, but the people don't act like it's sunny ever. Constant misery.
These are grits. You got to put hella sugar on your grits. Excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
Are you going to the game today?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Waffle House before?
Waffle House?
Yes.
No.
Can I take you to eat with me before the game?
Is it close?
It's literally right there.
You paying?
I'm paying.
Let's go.
Let's go. What's your name?
Antonio.
I'm gonna see what he thinks about an American staple in the city of Atlanta.
Viva España.
I usually go all-star special.
Hey, Kobe Bryant.
Yes, Kobe. And some grits. You had grits before?
Absolutely not. We will do one all-star, one bacon, egg, cheese biscuit.
When you think of America and food, what comes to mind for you?
Big.
These are grits. You got to put hella sugar on your grits. And when they're cooked right, you can eat it with a fork. Got to get the butter in there.
Healthy.
Not healthy. This is not healthy, but it's good. Some butter in there. And honestly, a little bit more sugar. Cheers. You like it?
That's good.
Waffle, always got to put butter on the waffle. A lot of syrup. Cheers. Cheers. You like it?
Mm-hmm. I'm Scottish and I'm in Boston right now. I want to let all Americans know that we're not cavemen. For some reason, everyone thinks that we lived like 20 years in the past. Don't know if it's the kilts, but I was on a train yesterday and somebody asked me how I have an iPhone. They asked me how I have an iPhone in 2026. Anyway, everyone's been so nice. We love Boston, loving our time here in America, and going to Scotland.
Oh, I'm feeling very sad because it is our last night in Texas tonight. We are in a motel. I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone in this great state. The hospitality from everyone from start to finish